Hi everybody, this is me, Queen Bee, and I am here with the beautiful Tina, who has agreed to partake in our Queen Bee Talking Trans series. Say hello, Tina.
Hi, this is me. I don't know about the beautiful bit though.
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Before we go any further, I just want to show you something that I bought and it arrived today. Check that out. How cool is that? That is amazing.
A trans rainbow mug with bits.
Yep. A lady, they're called Boob Pots by Jo. But yeah, she did this one for me in trans colours, but I had to have one. And
Of course.
it's actually quite tactile, so I need to put it down and stop.
Everyone should have one.
Stop fiddling. A boob pot. I've already said to Tina that if she doesn't want to answer any questions, not to. So we've got that underway. And how long have we known each other?
It must be getting on 7, 8 years now, something like that, I would think.
Yeah.
Possibly even longer. I mean, I've been around forever, so between us, we probably do known each other for a long time. Anyway.
Yeah. So, what would you classify yourself as? Although we don't like that, but we're going to anyway.
If I had to have a label, it's a cross-dresser. Okay. I'm a whole person. I'm in touch with both my masculine and feminine side. Okay. I'm happy in either mode.
So what does cross-dressing mean? Like if someone says the word cross-dresser, what comes into your mind?
I am a guy's body but want to appear as feminine. I like the feminine clothes. I like the makeup. I like the wigs. I like to look and be as feminine as I can. Not for any sexual reasons, just to express my feminine side.
But we both know that some cross-dressers do dress for sexual gratification.
Yes, that is a fetish. That is not a stepping dysphoric table, if you like. I mean,
So would you say cross-dressing is part of the dysphoria curve?
Yeah, the bottom end of the curve, I would say.
So if you weren't ever allowed to dress again, ever, and you knew that the rest of your life you could never dress again, how would you feel?
Upset.
Yeah?
I would probably cope better than a lot of girls do. But yeah, I would be very upset about it.
Okay. I've forgotten where I was going with that.
Well,
we're actually filming in the hottest week of the year, aren't we?
We are, yes.
Yeah, so if you can hear a brrr in the background, that's the fan. I think we both pass out if we switch that off. Yeah, the dysphoria. So, because I've never considered, as in, I've never thought about it, not as in being judgmental, but I've never thought about the fact that you're right, being a cross-dresser is also on the gender dysphoria curve. Never thought about it before.
Yeah, I mean, you've got this hierarchy, for want of a better word. I mean, I hate this because we should be a community that sticks together from the top to the bottom.
We should be.
But it's just the last few years, we seem to be developing a hierarchy where girls who've got full dysphoria and transition fully feel they are so much better than someone like myself who is perhaps the bottom of the scale. I'm a cross-dresser and I dress for the fun of being female. Not sexual fun for being female, just the fun of being female, dressing up, putting the makeup on, going out as a female.
You said to me earlier something about dress to feel. Do you remember what you told me about what you say to girls about dressing to feel female but not?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I try and help a lot of girls who have gone down the route they want to be female but feel like it's a sexual way to go with it. And it's something they get drawn into very, very easily, a lot of girls. They don't need to.
Mm.
They can wear the
Why,
nice
why do you
underwear.
think they do, though? I mean, like,
Because
because that's something I've always wondered.
as a guy, it's something that develops. I mean, with me, it's something that's developed over a long, long time. The longer you dress, the more you become out as female in the world. I mean, I sort of tend to be 60-40. I'm more Tina than I am Jeff a lot of the time. Very high profile. I'm not shy. I take other girls out. I believe that if we're going to get anywhere in this world, we need to be seen and educate people. Whether we get good comments or get bad comments, we can still answer those comments and educate people. So the longer you dress, the more you feel you want to be experience the female, the whole package.
Mm.
You want a boyfriend. How far you want to go with that boyfriend depends on how you feel at the time, but you want to be treated like a female, romanced. Yes, you do want to be kissed, which is going back to where a lot of these girls feel they need to start on a sexual basis. Oh, I'm female, I must be gay because I fancy men. There's nothing wrong with being gay, it's fine, but you don't have to be gay to be a cross-dresser or trans.
So I believe that you've got hairy panty wearers, cross-dressers, transvestites, and transgendered.
Right, there's, I mean,
Because I always put you in the transvestite.
yeah, I hate that word actually, but that
Well,
to
I
me,
don't like the correct word is transsexual, which I hate, because that then implies that it's a sexual thing. So do you not in your thinking, do you not have like the transvestite bit?
I know transvestite is the proper word, the correct word for what I do as cross-dressing.
Mm.
But to me, transvestite always conjures up the sexual side of things. It's the older word for transvestite, which was always associated with, oh, you're gay, you're easy, you know.
Seedy, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I prefer cross-dressing. I mean, when I did that TV documentary, they labelled me as a transvestite on telly. Why not a cross-dresser? That's the word I've been using all the time. I did feel quite upset about that at the time.
It's difficult though, isn't it? Because I was reading something on Twitter, William Shatner, Captain Kirk.
Oh yes, he wants to be known as a white CIS man or something.
Yeah, and then all the stuff that come underneath it, they were saying that the word that the term cisgendered, which is what I am, I'm cisgendered. I'm female born in a female body, makes me cisgendered. And they were saying, oh, you know, the cisgendering is it's a term of abuse. So I don't even get that. How can you? And then they're saying, oh, it's just sorry, I've got a string here, saying because it's a made-up thing to make transvestites and transgendered people feel more comfortable. So I don't know if it's a made-up thing. I don't know how long it's been going, but even if it is, so what? It's a way of classifying the difference between. Because
why should we classify people though? We are people.
Yeah.
You know, it's the personality. To me, it doesn't matter whether you're black, white, green, yellow, how you dress, what sexual orientation you are. If I like your personality, that's good enough for me. And that should be the same for everyone.
Yeah, well, that would be nice, but it's not.
No, but I mean, a lot of it is down to attitude on both sides. Yes, there are rotten apples that stir trouble in every society. I mean, I travel around the country when we can, booking country house weekends, holiday weekends away, camping trips with other girls, for other girls.
Hmm.
Now, we never, ever have had any problems in any local pubs, restaurants, towns, campsites, anywhere we've been. Most people are super friendly, they're fascinated by what we do, all smiles.
Yeah, I was going to say that you do get a lot of curiosity. It tends to be from, again, sorry, cis women that, like when I go out with girls to a nightclub, or like I take girls to trans specific nightclubs, and also to what we call vanilla clubs, which is
Straight clubs, you
straight
call that.
clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And when we go to those, like all the young girls absolutely love the girls I bring in. You know, like, oh, come and dance with me. Where did you get that? Oh, I love this. And
Yeah, but even going back to, I mean, the big issue is using the toilets.
yeah.
Right, first off, you go in the ladies' toilets, the female toilets,
Yeah.
everyone is in a separate private cubicle.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like your men where you're all standing next to each other and you can all have a look, see what's going on. In a woman's, it's private cubicle. You dress yourself properly before you come out of your cubicle. You wash your hands, check your makeup in the mirror. Out the door.
Hmm.
Why do people find that a problem? I mean, going back to what you were saying about vanilla clubs, when I've been out to vanilla clubs, places, hotels, restaurants, dressed as Tina, using the ladies' toilets, I don't have any problem. As you say, the girls that are normally in there are fascinated.
Yeah.
You know, how do you do your makeup? Um, Even down to the thing, well, can I feel your boobs? You know, and
Girls do that in the loos, though.
yes,
This is like this is why girls go to the loos in pairs, because if someone's had a boob job, everyone's having a look and a feel.
yeah.
So
But this is where it becomes sort of dangerous, because if you sort of say back, well, yeah, you can feel mine if I can feel yours, is that classed as a sexual
it would
thing?
be
Right?
uncomfortable, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I
think.
mean, it doesn't bother me that they want to feel my boobs, but as I said, I wouldn't go back to them and say, well,
Sorry, the air freshener.
oh, I've just been freshened.
She's all lovely and spring fresh.
No, that I wouldn't dream of saying to them, because
Mm.
that's something that's not right. I can understand them being fascinated, because
But you're going to get girls who don't want that. I mean, and rightly so. I mean, I wouldn't want to walk into a restroom and have someone, can I feel your tits? And I know some T girls who would be absolutely devastated if someone came up to them and said, can I feel your boobs? Because they want to blend in. They don't want to stand
oh
out.
yeah, I mean, it's not something that, you know, you sort of walk in and oh look, it's one of those tea girls. Can I feel your tits, love? It's not like that.
Mm.
You'll have a little bit of banter first, you know. Well, oh, you look nice. I like your dress, or who did your hair, you know.
Mm.
You're quite brave, aren't you, coming in here and that. And do you wear those silicone tits, or you know, have you had a boob job?
Mm.
And so it goes from there. People are fascinated, and the story goes. So yeah, they want to feel it if you've got silicone, but it's just one of those things. People are friendly if you're friendly to them.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that I do these videos is because going to business networking group meetings and stuff, which I've been doing for years, you find once you tell people what you do for a living, oh my God, I'm so interested. And they're desperate to know stuff, but they don't know what they want to know. And they're too scared to ask me anyway, because they think it might be offensive, which is why I do the videos, so that we can talk about anything, so that you can, anything you ever wanted to know, you'll know by watching my videos. But it's so hot. I've forgotten where I was going with that.
We were talking about tits in the toilets.
I was trying to get away from tits in the toilets. Yeah. The amount of tits I've seen in the toilet is unbelievable. No, completely forgotten. Yeah, so how do you feel about being responsible for enlightening the public to make it easier for the girls coming behind you?
I feel that's my sort of role in life, to help girls. I'm confident enough to walk into any situation. I mean, when we go away on these country house weekends, it's always me that's pushed through the door first in any new pub we go in. Couple of incidents I'll tell you about. Last year, year before last, sorry, we booked into a place on the Friday night. I always check the pubs out first, see what the landlord's like. Very, very friendly place. So we said, we'll do you a little show, live music on the Sunday night when we come in for our Sunday lunch. Because this is quite a big thing when we go away, have Sunday lunch in a local pub. Anyway, very quiet. Come Sunday, the whole village had heard about us doing live music. It was rammed, and there was a sort of crowd of rugby player type guys in the corner taking the mickey a little bit.
Yeah, but they're always the first to put on women's clothes at carnivals and stuff, aren't they?
Quite likely, but they were really taking it. It put the other girls off.
Oh, that's not nice.
So anyway, we had our meal, and then I found the perfect opportunity to quieten the lads down, if you like, and help the other girls. Julie, the barmaid, was trying to make daiquiri cocktails, strawberry daiquiri cocktails for Christmas. She's only got frozen strawberries. So she's got them on the bar and she's trying to break them with a hammer. Well, having done karate since I was 14, I muscled my way through these group of big guys. I said, Julie, give us the strawberries here. Took my rings off and two big karate chops, strawberries all over the bar, and you see these guys. Did that hurt, mate? No, didn't hurt at all, mate. Tone it down, lads, we're not playing with this lot. And it got us a good mood. Well, we still carried on, we did the show, and the lads were the first ones to give us standing ovation.
Oh, that's nice.
Another one we went to, full of these antique xylophone type things, the wind-ups that go on the big disc. Family in there, a couple of young children, very posh looking. The most dirty look I ever got walking through that door. If looks could kill. So the first thing's out of my mouth, oh, we're just in time, wind it up, the monkeys are here to dance. Big smile on their faces, broke the ice, and we had no more problems. Bit of humour, little way of dealing with things rather than fly off the handle. There's different ways of educating people. You can talk to them, you can show them you're not intimidated by being who you are. And that seems to work for me.
And how long have you been going out in public? Dressed, sorry.
How far back do you want to go?
All the way, darling.
53 years. First makeover, professional makeover, was at 17 years of age, 1967. Two French girls in the hotel I worked in. 1973, I won a beauty contest in Spain. Unfortunately, after that, I got married and had a 23-year break because she didn't want to know. But then, after I got divorced, 1999, seen us back out, never looked back since.
So would you ever get married again?
No, I've done it twice. I think twice is enough. It's expensive for the divorces.
Yeah. So when you did get married, did you tell them that you were a cross-dresser?
Yes. And she didn't want to know. I'm marrying a guy, I'm marrying the breadwinner, I want the man about the house. And it wasn't something I could get through to her, but when you love someone, you concede, I suppose.
Yeah.
So it took 23 years before I got divorced. Got 4 great kids. So it wasn't a problem. And I say the kids now, my two daughters and my granddaughter, they think it's hilarious. We've got nothing to wear, go out Saturday night. Let's go and raid Daddy's wardrobe. And they do.
Mm.
Two boys are a little bit iffy about it, but they accept it. So all my neighbours, they all love it. They think it's fabulous. Two little girls next door practice makeup on me and then practice it on themselves.
My granddaughter did my makeup a couple of weeks ago. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
She enjoyed it.
I think if you've got the confidence to accept who you are, you don't get the problems.
No, I think it's like with any walk of life, not just going out in public dress. If you look like a victim, you'll attract people who are looking for victims.
Yes.
You know, it's the same like as a cis woman. If I walk down the street and I'm all like, oh my God, like, what's happening? Then I look like an easy victim for that sort of person to attack.
You've got to be confident, but not cocky with it.
Yeah.
You know, if you show, head held high, but still show the good manners, step aside for people. The big problem I find being cross-dresser, I was brought up to be very well mannered as a guy. Now, I still find that I'm opening doors for people, even when I'm in Tina mode. Or I have been known to hold a chair for another person in a restaurant in Tina mode. It's one of those things, manners are difficult to switch roles from. It takes a lot of practice.
My dad came over for a visit a couple of years ago, and I took him to B&O, as you do.
Of course.
Sorry, Daddy. And I made him sit in the camp bar while I was doing makeovers. And I told all the girls to leave him alone because that's my dad and I'm not having it. And he came back, and my dad's like Scottish, Glaswegian. And I have an observation. I'm like, oh my God, what do I want to know? I was really scared he was going to say something inappropriate. And he said, I have observed that when the girls go through doors, they hold them open for other people. Whereas cis women, he didn't use that word, he didn't know it, but cis women don't, they just walk straight through. He said, and that was the biggest giveaway he could spot about the T-girls, was that they were opening doors for other people, like other women.
Yeah, it's that male trait of being a well-mannered man.
Yeah.
You just don't shake it off overnight. Not that's a bad thing. Manners count for a lot of things.
Yes, they do. And I'd love to see them come back.
Yes, they're not out there very much, but between the groups that I'm in, it seems like manners were a big part of their growing up as well. It seems to be perhaps the younger ones, since I came out after my divorce, it seemed like most people who were coming out of the closet were in their late 30s, early 40s. It's taken them that long to find the confidence or to see that the world is accepting enough for them to admit who they are.
Yeah.
So they've been brought up masculine with all the masculine manners that go with it. And that stuck, that sort of age group. Now the younger girls from as young as 18, 16, 17, 18 that are coming through now haven't had that upbringing of the manners that the older generation have had.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a big problem in the T-girl community in later years.
I think it's going to be a big problem for society as a whole in later years. I mean, you can already see the lack of manners. Oh, don't get me started on this one.
It's a big thing, though.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
feel so strongly. I wrote a poem about it. Yeah, it's just, I hate it, the fact that everyone's so ill-mannered nowadays. And I noticed something the other day, now, because we're still wearing masks when we have to go into shops and stuff. So I've got my mask on, and everyone's pretty much being nice and kind and go, oh, after you, no, after you, sort of thing.
Mhm.
And normally you just smile your thanks, don't you?
Yes.
So I'm smiling thank you and realizing they can't see me.
No,
So
I did that a few
yeah,
times, and then I sort of realised you have to open your mouth in a mask.
yeah, yeah, and you don't realize how little you open your mouth until you have to do it. So yeah, but make you. I mean, not today, obviously, but it makes you concentrate on your this end of your makeup because this end nobody's going to see it.
No, I tend to take it off unless I'm going in anywhere.
Mm,
Then I'll put it back on. But I mean, several times in Tesco's where I live, I mean, they want me to go and do a show for them as Tina, brighten their lives up a little bit, if it was allowed. Um, I'll see that big mask covering me up,
yeah, yeah.
do a show for them. But yeah.
So how how have you found it going out and about in public? Do you find people are accepting, or do they throw rotten fruit at you?
I've had no real problems anywhere, no. Um, Again, it's how you hand it. We were going out one night from my house, and 6 teenagers started throwing little apples at us.
Hmm. I was joking. I didn't think it would really
No,
happen.
it did actually happen. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that was with a blind lady I used to help out, and another girl. They they're allowed to come to mine, get changed,
Hmm.
um, and I'll take them to a club somewhere. This particular night, I got these two girls, and 6 young guys decided to throw apples at us, so I sort of shouted a warning out, and if anyone hits us, I'll have the police down so quick. I'm on the hate crime committee, blah blah blah. Walked through the car park. Well, they followed us out to the car park.
Hmm.
Um,
That's quite disconcerting.
well, it was for the 2 young ladies that I had with me. They dived in the car.
Hmm.
Me being me, I just don't back down. I walked towards them and started chatting to them. Um, Not so big now when I come back towards you, are you, lads? Well, no. But you're a guy dressed up, aren't you? Yes. Why? Does that make a difference? No, well, why do you do it? So why shouldn't I do it? I bet you don't get any girls like that. I said, I'll tell you what, I get more girls attracted to me dressed like this than I ever did dressed as a guy. Oh, oh
You've been
yeah.
out recruiting.
Just tell me more.
Hmm.
I said, look, girls find it fascinating. You started off thinking it's funny, taking the mickey. Now you've actually started talking. It's not so strange, is it? Well, no. No. Yeah. Anyway, after another 3 or 4 minutes chatting to them, the apples were dropped, and they ended up getting photographs done with Tina.
Of course.
Um, it's just, as I say, it's the confidence. A lot of girls will perhaps run or backed away.
Yeah.
Um,
I would have.
no, never. 14 years in karate, 6 of them, they're only little, well, teenagers. I wasn't.
Teenagers scare the big Jesus out of me.
Some do, but no, I look after myself. I'm not backing down from not a fight, but I'm not backing down from a confrontation to if I can talk to someone.
I think a lot of people I mean, I'm saying a lot of people, there aren't a lot of people who would do that, be abusive like that. But the ones who do, I'm pretty sure they forget that it's a bloke in a frock. A bloke.
Yes,
So that bloke could probably kick your butt.
yeah, with muscles like that, you don't miss. But you don't see those. No, there was one guy again coming back from London Pride. We came back early, and
Hmm.
I was dressed in a black and orange leotard type thing, and very well dressed, well manicured, with his wife on his arm, walking down. You should be ashamed of yourself. Look at you in the street dressed like that. I smiled sweetly and waved at him. He was walking towards Trafalgar Square, where there was 500,000 more dressed like me.
Mm.
So I thought, poor guy, you don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Yeah, but I always believe, and I do believe it, it's not just me being flippant, I do believe that the people who do that are actually closet cross-dressers themselves, and that they're just too scared to act on it.
I believe that sometimes that is peer pressure in front of their mates.
Mm.
The worst offender is going to be the one that's going to turn in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was outed at work, there was 2 or 3 of them, real ringleaders, you know. I was all the names you could think of, and fortunately, driving a lorry, you get loaded, you're out of the yard, and you're on your own, so you don't have a problem till you come back and get unloaded again. But anyway, after the guy left, and I left, retired, I've had 3 people I used to work with are now cross-dressing.
Do you think perhaps that you're responsible for this?
No, not entirely.
So can you turn someone into a cross-dresser?
Yes, you could turn someone into a cross-dresser, but they would possibly do it for different reasons.
Mm.
I do it to express my feminine side as a whole person.
Mm-hmm.
They may do it for fun as partially drag,
Yeah.
without going the whole way. They may decide, I mean, I know several girls who have been cross-dressers because they've been very lonely in real life, and they found that a cross-dressing club, trans club, are very accepting for people.
Yes.
If they dress up, they've got friends.
Yeah.
So they dress to get friends. It's not because they want to or they need to. I would say to an extent I need to dress to express my feminine side.
Mm.
But going back to what we started off earlier, if I did have to give it up, I wouldn't find it too much of a problem. I would find it sad, but not a big problem. Like some girls that are on the transition, on hormones, and
Yeah.
looking for the operation.
But so there's the muggles out there don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a cross-dresser, let's say you're married and I'm married, and I find out that my husband's a cross-dresser,
Mm-hmm.
do I need to worry that my husband's going to want to transition? And for those who don't know, to transition is to basically live your life full time as a female. It has nothing to do with surgery. Transitioning is just transitioning from male to female.
That's something you need to discuss with your partner to find out. Are you happy to accept a female look-alike in your life with all the advantage of still having a marital relationship, perhaps? Or do you feel, or would you feel like this is a lesbian relationship which you weren't comfortable with, even though the transition's not happening? It's something each individual has to discuss and come to terms with, really.
But being a cross-dresser doesn't automatically mean that you're going to become transgendered and transition. There are some girls who do, because they're not quite accepting of their transgenderism, and they think they're just a cross-dresser, blah blah blah, and then they find out down the road that's not the case. But there's a large proportion of cross-dressers who are perfectly happy bimbling along being a cross-dresser. Doesn't mean that they want to transition. So if your husband does cross-dress, and you're worried, actually, then there's support groups you can ring. I run a support group as well, which you can talk to me or the girls at the support group. But it doesn't mean that they're going to transition. So
Oh, no,
it's whether you want to look at it as maybe like a little hobby that your husband does that you don't particularly like, maybe. However, if you do like it and you accept your husband is a cross-dresser, how much fun is that?
Brilliant. I mean, it is. It's absolutely brilliant. Two of you together.
Shopping.
The fun, the shopping, and the sharing of dresses if you're a similar size.
Yeah.
You know, you run out of tights or stockings, go pinch hubbies. Great. You know, works the other way as well, unfortunately.
What were you saying earlier about your daughter?
Oh, yeah, my granddaughter and my two daughters, they're all size 12, same as I am. They've been out to events with me. In fact, one New Year's Eve at my place. So I had New Year's Eve parties for girls at my
I
house.
keep meaning to come, but I get on that sofa.
I know, that's it.
And that's me. I'm asleep.
Anyway, I've got this beautiful blue dress on, and it's a fishtail type dress, but very short. The front split. That's the first time I've had my daughters tell me to go and change because my skirt was too short. It's only a couple of years ago I was telling them the same thing going out. But there we go.
And do they raid your wardrobe?
Yes, they do. Frequently. I've got a long gold evening gown. Cost me a small fortune. Both of them have worn that for fancy balls they've been to with their husbands.
You said to me earlier, they say let's go and raid Dad's closet.
Yeah, they do. I mean, this is it. We've got nothing to wear for Saturday night. Should we go to the shops? No, let's go and raid Daddy's wardrobe. And they do.
It's cool though, isn't it? So how does it make you feel as a human being, having that acceptance from your children?
Absolutely brilliant. In fact, there was something that happened last night. I didn't know how to word that. I was going to put something up about it, but my sister's daughter and my niece hasn't been in touch for ages, and she messaged me on Facebook, and she was so polite. Are you Tina full time now, or are you still Uncle Jeff?
Oh.
And I sort of said to her, no, Tina, I'm still Uncle Jeff. Tina's more of a hobby. But she said, oh no, I love all your dresses and this sort of thing. Now, it's so nice that family do accept it. I mean, my grandson, he used to phone up, can I come around and see you? I said, yeah, of course you can. Am I seeing Grandad Jeff or Nanny Tina tonight? And he didn't mind who it was.
I think children don't. I mean, if they are around T-girls, it's just normal. And like my grandchildren, they live in London, but they come to visit sometimes. And I've got girls in and out the house all the time. They don't bat an eyelid. They'll refer to the girls in their feminine form when they're dressed as girls, or if they're in Bob mode, they'll call them by their man name. And I haven't had to tell them that. It's not because I have. I don't know. It's just normal for them. So I think it's adults who.
It is. I mean, there was a cartoon came up somewhere. I can't remember what it was. It worked out. The little boy was saying something to someone. Is that a man dressed up, Daddy? Yes, that is. That's what we call a trans person. Oh, that's nice. And then the mother is saying, come away from that strange person or something or other. And the father said, well, what have you learnt today, son? He said, well, everyone's entitled to what they do and some people are stupid.
You're pointing at me then.
No, sorry, no, I was talking about the mother.
I know.
Yes, but and that sort of hits home. It's the parents that teach the children.
I mean, a kid I mean, I've been out with girls and like little children do look. Because they've got nothing else to do with their time. They just sit in their buggies or whatever and they're like staring around the world. And then they'll say like, oh, that lady's very tall, isn't she, mummy? Or is that a man, mummy?
Yeah.
You know, and all it takes is for mummy to say,
Yeah,
yes.
come away.
Or yes, you know, would you like to go and talk to her or something?
Yeah.
Ask the questions. So if you had like if you were out in public and the great unwashed came up to you and they wanted to ask you questions, how would you feel?
Fine. Because mate, anything they like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I welcome the attention from people who are interested. I welcome the insults if I can answer them back and talk to people and try and get them to win them round.
But in your experience, is that common for girls to feel comfortable being asked questions when out in public?
No, a lot of girls want to blend in. They want to be accepted as female without any of the problems. But I feel that if someone is not out there to say, well, look at me, I'm a T-girl, come and talk to me, or I'm a T-girl, you got a problem with it, they're not going to have that right to blend in. They're not going to be accepted to blend in because people don't understand unless someone's there telling them, making them understand that we are people. We can be fun just because we wear different clothes. It doesn't mean
She's a nutter.
I am totally. Just because we wear different clothes, it doesn't mean we're a different person. And this is what we've got to get through to people. Accept us for who we are. We're people. We have the same personality. If you don't like the personality, fine, no problem. I have the problem with different personalities. But the clothes that people wear, the colour of their skin, doesn't make the slightest bit of difference.
It's also none of your bloody business.
No, but people are curious about things.
People are very curious. They are very curious. I would say go online and look it up, but if you go online, you're going to find some stuff that doesn't represent the community. So what would you say to people who believe that being cross-dresser or transvestite is just a sexual fetish?
I'd say no, it's not just a sexual fetish. Unfortunately, this is the public perception of most T-girls. We're easy. We're doing it because we want sex. We're gay. Sorry, we're not. Yes, there are the element that misbehave, shall we say, in public and keep this thing going. Which is very unfortunate. It's done in fun, it's done in jest, messing around, but in the public eyes, that's it.
It's reinforcing the stereotype, isn't it?
Exactly.
You know, if you go to Tesco's in a mini skirt and fishnets with your bollocks hanging out, you're not really representing femininity, are you?
No, but it's not only that. I mean, it's a couple of events I've been to, country houses, big parties, with other wedding venues going on at the same place. And in the general public bar, I've seen two girls get on their knees and put their head up another girl's skirt. This sort of thing. Only in fun, but in the public eyes, in a public bar, this is not something that we want the public to see.
No. I mean, there are fetishists out there.
And
fantasists out there. But on the whole, I believe, I mean, I don't want to offend you again, but I believe you're a transvestite.
Okay.
But you want to be called a cross-dresser, that's fine. But I believe that cross-dressers tend to cross-dress because it's a stress relief. And like, in my experience, they have like jobs that are getting them down, or family that are getting them down, or situations that are getting them down. And the only way to escape that is to become another person. And so, like, Bob's life is pretty stressful and it is driving him to distraction. But Betty's life is really sweet and free, and she hasn't got any worries or any carefrees.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this lots of times with other girls. They're weekend transvestites, if you like, to start with. As you say, they've got problems with the mortgage, they can't pay their bills, they don't like their job, and they transition to, all right, use my name, just from Jeff, who's got all these problems, to Tina, who's out having a drink, having a dance, having a great time, fun and friends. Hang on. Tina's got a much better life than Jeff has. I'm going to try this transitioning lark. Now, I've seen this so many times. Unfortunately, they may get accepted. They'll follow that route down. Your problems don't go away because you change clothes. In fact, it's going to give you more problems. One, you've got 2 wardrobes to pay for, which puts you in more debt. 2, you get the aggravation from people accepting who you are, as male or female. If you can't come out of work, you're going to change your jobs.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. The jobs are not out there. For anyone who's thinking about this, of trying to be someone else to get away from their problems, don't do it. It doesn't work.
No. I mean, I'm a life coach, and my specialism is transgender and gender variant people. And I coach them if they want to. I coach them through their transition. But I always say that this is the easy part. Once you've transitioned, that's when it gets tricky. Your life doesn't stop and all of a sudden become perfect just because you've transitioned. You've got so much to deal with, like your family, your job, your neighbours. Like,
yeah, a lot of that is sort of part of the transition process.
Yeah, which is why they have
to
counsellors. You have to go through counsellors and everything before you can
and then
medically transition.
Yeah, and then live that life for at least, I think it's dropped down to 18 months now, isn't it? I believe, rather than 2 years.
Well, that was easy for them to say, though, wasn't it? Because it's 3 years before you can get a bloody appointment.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're living that life for 3 years.
Yeah, so I mean, the neighbours, the family, people will know that side of it. It's not, unfortunately.
But it's not an escape. It's not an escape.
No, it's not. And unfortunately, a lot of the girls that transition, I mean, they still look very, very masculine, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that can't be helped.
No, it can't be helped, but that does add to their problems.
It does add to the problems, but it can't. I mean, not everyone can afford facial feminisation, which is really expensive.
No, but as a life coach, don't you find that it's difficult to teach someone what clothes to wear to make them look good?
Yeah.
They'll get a style in their head.
And it's always a bodycon dress.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether they're a size 10 or a size 30. It's a bodycon dress, and it just doesn't work.
And stripper shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the style this is where so many girls who are transitioning or have transitioned come unstuck. As you say, this journey, they've got to relearn how to dress, how to purport themselves in public. Not go out like the stripper or go out daytime shopping as if they're going out clubbing.
To a sex club.
Yeah. This is all back to the sex. The public's perception of us is, sexual objects. A lot of girls do wear skirts. They're a little bit too short, but
cis girls.
Yeah, I know, but we've got great legs.
Yes.
As a guy, everyone says that guys have better legs than girls.
Yes.
So I'm afraid that's my best feature. I'm showing them off.
They used to be mine till I got fat. So we are closing up now. If you were talking to the general public.
Hmm.
What one thing is the most important thing that you want to leave them with?
Accept everybody. Don't judge people by the clothes they wear. Don't judge a book by its cover. If you want to learn anything, come and talk to us. Other than that, just accept us, smile sweetly, and leave us alone.
I think that's what most girls want, isn't it? It's just leave us alone.
Yeah.
You know.
They just want to blend in fine and no one take any notice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unlike
and I'm
me.
really happy you use the word blend, because I hate, with a passion that has a bonfire under it, hate the word pass.
Yeah, so many of us don't
Hate it.
pass, but going back to say blending in, unlike me, I get upset if people don't look.
Okay. Right. So I'm going to say thank you very, very much for talking with me. To the wonderful Tina, also star of Channel 4. What was
Yes,
the programme called?
Born Risky with Grayson Perry.
Yeah, I missed it. Sorry.
It's still on YouTube.
Is it? Oh, good. I'll look it up. So look up Born Risky with Grayson Perry.
Perry stroke Jeff.
And
Miss Sparkle 2019. The only girl to hold it for 2 years because of COVID.
Yeah, but you don't add that bit on the end.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm still the only girl that's ever going to hold it for 2 years.
Yeah, true. True. The reason I keep fucking with my hair is because the fan's blowing it and it's really tickling me. So, anyway, that's it from us. If you want to take part in one of these Talking Trans with me, then please do. You can be cross-dresser, transvestite, transgendered, you can be gender neutral, you can be gender variant, you can either be a cis person or a partner, anyone, but we will talk about. It was nothing too hard, was it?
No.
No, it's just a chit chat, just so that people basically see that you're normal people.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you pick me. You can't put normal and Tina in the same sentence, really, can you?
No.
No, but there we go.
I'm surprised you didn't come in sparkles.
Well, I was thinking about it, but I thought it's daytime. It's, I better tone it down just a little bit.
So, it's the first time I've seen you in anything that wasn't sparkly.
Well, I've got a necklace.
Yeah, true.
And earrings.
And earrings, yes.
And sequins on everywhere because they seem to get in everywhere.
Yeah. It's like if you've got a glittery dress as well, it's in the carpet.
Glitter. Oh, yeah. I never get rid of mine.
Right, so that's it from us. Thank you for watching. If you want to take part, just message me. If you live far away, we can do it via Zoom and I can film that, which is cool. I really want to talk with some girls who are in America, if possible. I'd love to be able to talk about what's going on over there and how it is affecting you. So, yeah, on the understanding that if you do one of these Talking Trans with me, it goes all over my social media and I have no control over who sees it. So if you're not out or you're not comfortable being out, or if you just feel uncomfortable about it, then thank you very much, but you probably wouldn't want to do this.
And just for you, if anyone's got any questions they want to ask through me to myself, or any questions you want to ask, don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, please ask.
I'm very, very open. I will answer anything.
Cool. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome.
Coming up in the raging heat, we're going to go and have a cool drink now, cool down a bit. So, thank you.
Bye, folks.